God confirmed your future with this younger person, and the name is the final sign. Beloved soul, pause. Breathe. Still your thoughts for just a moment, because what you are about to hear was not meant for everyone. It found you because heaven has already begun aligning something that your mind could not predict, and your heart dared not fully imagine. I am Archangel Michael, and I come with a message sealed in confirmation, not confusion. This is not a question. This is not wishful thinking. God has confirmed your future with a younger person, and the name is the final sign. You have felt the stirring, haven't you? The quiet disturbance beneath your routines. The sense that time itself shifted slightly around you. You told yourself it was coincidence. You told yourself it was loneliness, or memory, or imagination. But the truth is simpler and far more divine. What is approaching you carries purpose, not fantasy. God does not tease hearts. God prepares them. Listen carefully now. There was a season when you believed your chapter of becoming was finished, when you thought wisdom had replaced wonder, and responsibility had replaced surprise. But heaven does not measure love by age. Heaven measures love by alignment. And the one coming toward you carries a different rhythm, a different pace, a different fire, not to diminish you, but to awaken what time never took from you. This connection was delayed on purpose. If it had arrived earlier, you would not have recognized it. If it arrived later, you would have resisted it. But now your discernment is sharp, your spirit seasoned, your heart quieter and stronger. That is why God allowed you to cross paths after the storms, not before them. This younger soul does not come to rescue you. They come to meet you. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about physical age alone. This is about spiritual contrast. Where you carry depth, they carry momentum. Where you hold patience, they hold courage. Where you understand endings, they believe in beginnings. Together, this becomes balance, not imbalance. And yes, people will question it. They will look at numbers. They will whisper assumptions. They will project their own limitations onto something they cannot comprehend. But they are not the ones who lay awake at night feeling the pull. They are not the ones who noticed the signs repeating. They are not the ones who felt peace instead of fear when the thought first crossed the heart. You did. God confirmed this not once, but multiple times, through interruption. Through delay. Through silence that suddenly broke. Through a name that appeared when you weren't looking for it. A name that lingered longer than it should have. A name that returned in unrelated moments. That name is not random. It is a marker. Here is the truth most never hear: when God aligns a future, He seals it with recognition. That is why your spirit reacted before your logic did. That is why something in you softened instead of tensed. You are not losing control. You are being invited into trust. And before you dismiss this, let me say this clearly: God is not asking you to abandon wisdom. He is asking you to stop using fear as protection. This union is not meant to drain you. It is meant to restore you. Not to make you feel older, but more alive. Not to pull you backward, but to expand you forward. Notice what has already changed. Your tolerance for shallow connection has faded. Your appetite for truth has increased. Your patience for pretense is gone. These are not accidents. These are preparations. You are being refined for something real. In a moment, I will speak about the resistance you may feel, and why it's a sign you're close, not wrong. But before that, hear this gentle instruction: if this message resonates, stay with it. Not out of superstition, but out of alignment. A quiet act of agreement matters more than you know. Even something as simple as staying present, or choosing to return, helps anchor what is already forming. Because the next thing I reveal will answer the question you've been afraid to ask out loud. The one about why the age difference exists, and what the name truly unlocks. And when you hear it, you will understand why God waited until now. Stay with me, because the confirmation is about to go deeper, and the sign you think you recognize is only the beginning. Beloved soul, I feel the hesitation rising in you even now. Not doubt, hesitation. There is a difference. Doubt questions truth. Hesitation questions permission. And that is exactly where many miss what God is doing next. You ask silently, why younger? You ask softly, why now? And underneath those questions is the one you barely allow yourself to touch: am I allowed to want this? Hear me clearly. God does not confirm what you are not allowed to receive. The age difference is not a flaw in the design, it is the design. God is not pairing you with someone younger to test your confidence. He is pairing you to restore balance where life made you heavy. Time taught you caution. Loss taught you restraint. Responsibility taught you to measure everything twice before feeling once. This younger soul carries something you did not lose, but stopped leading with: expectancy. They still believe movement can change outcomes. They still trust that timing bends for purpose. They still approach connection without assuming its end. And you, beloved, you bring what they lack. You bring steadiness. You bring discernment. You bring the ability to sit with silence without running from it. This is not imbalance. This is completion. But let me speak to the resistance, because resistance always appears right before alignment locks in. You may feel unworthy. You may feel watched. You may feel the weight of imagined judgment. You may even feel guilt for feeling excited at all. That is not conviction. That is conditioning. You were trained to believe that desire must decrease with age. That longing must quiet down. That love must look a certain way to be legitimate. But heaven never agreed with those rules. Heaven does not reduce your capacity, it refines it. This is why the connection feels different from anything before. It is not frantic. It is not chaotic. It is not fueled by need. There is calm in it. A surprising calm. A sense that you could walk away, and yet you don't want to. That is alignment, not attachment. Now listen carefully, because this part matters more than you realize. The name. You have seen it. Heard it. Thought it. Or felt drawn to a specific initial without knowing why. You tried to brush it off. You told yourself you were reading into things. But names carry authority in the spiritual realm. In Scripture, names mark destiny, not coincidence. God does not casually repeat what He does not intend to activate. The name is not the person, yet. The name is the confirmation key. When it appears again, and it will arrive with peace, not adrenaline. With clarity, not confusion. With recognition, not fantasy. That is how you will know this is not projection. Projection rushes. Confirmation settles. Do not chase the name. Do not interrogate the sign. Let it reveal itself naturally, because God protects what is real from impatience. And hear this warning spoken in love: do not shrink yourself to make this easier for others to accept. If you step into this connection apologetically, you will distort its power. This union does not require defense. It requires presence. There will be moments when you feel the urge to explain yourself before anyone asks. Resist that. There will be moments when you want to slow down what God is accelerating, not out of wisdom, but out of fear of being seen. Discern the difference. Wisdom feels grounded. Fear feels tight. This connection is meant to feel grounding, even when it stretches you. And yes, there will be a moment soon when you must choose openness over safety. Not recklessness, openness. A conversation you don't deflect. A feeling you don't downplay. A truth you don't joke away. That moment is closer than you think. If this message continues to echo in you, it is because your spirit recognizes the timing. Staying connected to this word, returning to it, affirming it quietly, keeps you aligned with the unfolding rather than watching it pass by. Small acts of agreement create spiritual traction. In the next breath of this message, I will reveal something many never expect. The reason this younger person was protected from crossing your path sooner, and the one mistake you must not make when the sign becomes undeniable. That revelation will either anchor this future, or delay it. Stay with me, because what comes next is not poetic. It is strategic. Beloved soul, now we step into sacred clarity. This is where confusion falls away, and intention becomes visible. What I am about to speak will feel firm, not because it is harsh, but because timing demands precision. When heaven moves, it moves with order. The younger soul you are connected to was protected from you before now. Not hidden, protected. There is a difference. If your paths had crossed earlier, the connection would have been distorted by unfinished wounds. Yours or theirs. God does not introduce purpose into chaos. He waits until both vessels can carry it without spilling what matters. There was a season when you were healing, even if you didn't call it that. You were shedding versions of yourself that survived, but did not thrive. Old identities. Old compromises. Old self-denials disguised as maturity. Had this person entered then, you would have mistaken them for a distraction, or worse, tried to mentor what was meant to meet you. And there was a season when they were not ready either. They were learning boundaries. Learning self-worth. Learning that intensity is not intimacy. Had they met you then, they might have clung instead of connected. God refuses to build futures on imbalance. So heaven waited. This is why the recognition now feels mutual, even if unspoken. Why there is respect where there could have been infatuation. Why the energy between you does not rush ahead of trust. Protection produced patience. Now hear the instruction you must not ignore. Do not try to lead this connection by explaining it. Do not over-spiritualize it. Do not over-justify it. And above all, do not rush to define it. The greatest mistake people make at this stage is attempting to control outcomes the moment clarity appears. But God does not need your management, He needs your cooperation. Let presence do what pressure never could. There will be a moment, quiet, almost ordinary, when the younger person mirrors something back to you. A value. A curiosity. A way of seeing life that aligns unexpectedly with your own. When that happens, do not dismiss it as coincidence. That moment is a hinge. And yes, the name will surface again around that time. Perhaps spoken by someone else. Perhaps written where you did not expect it. Perhaps linked to a memory that suddenly makes sense. That is not chance, that is synchronization. When it happens, you may feel a surge of urgency. A desire to act immediately. Pause. Alignment is not urgency. Alignment is steadiness. One calm step forward outweighs 10 anxious ones. Let me speak to fear plainly now, because pretending it isn't there only gives it power. You may fear losing your independence. You may fear being misunderstood. You may fear that hope itself could cost you peace. But hear me, this connection does not threaten your stability, it expands it. It does not demand you abandon yourself. It invites you to include someone else without erasing who you are. This is not a repeat of old patterns. You are not who you were then. And the future being offered is not asking you to bleed to earn it. Pay attention to how your body responds when you imagine this future. Not your thoughts, your body. Does it tense, or does it soften? Does it feel heavy, or quietly energized? The body knows when the spirit is aligned before the mind agrees. And here is a truth rarely spoken: this connection will not consume your world, it will refine it. It will make you more intentional with your time. More honest with your words. More selective with your energy. That is not loss. That is elevation. There may be delays still. Do not panic. Delays at this stage are not denials, they are calibrations. God is aligning external circumstances to match internal readiness. Trust the pacing. If this message continues to resonate, staying attuned to it. Returning, reflecting, quietly affirming, keeps your awareness sharp. Not everyone needs to know what you are holding. Some things grow best in reverent silence. In the next movement of this message, I will reveal how to recognize the moment of confirmation when it arrives in real time, and the single response that keeps this future from fracturing under expectation. That knowledge will determine whether this connection unfolds with ease, or unnecessary struggle. Beloved soul, now we approach the threshold. This is the place where many receive a promise, but only a few enter it. What I speak now is not to excite you, it is to steady you. Because the moment of confirmation does not arrive with thunder. It arrives with clarity so quiet that you could mistake it for coincidence if your spirit were not awake. The confirmation will not shout your name. It will not demand urgency. It will not pull you out of yourself. Instead, it will feel right. There will be a moment, simple, almost unremarkable, when the younger person responds to you in a way that feels aligned rather than impressed. They will not try to perform for you. They will not seek approval. They will meet you where you are, without shrinking or posturing. That moment is the sign in motion. And this is where instruction becomes critical. Your response must be grounded, not guarded. Guardedness looks like wisdom, but it is fear wearing armor. Groundedness allows truth without force. When the confirmation appears, you may feel the urge to retreat into composure, to minimize the moment, to keep things appropriate. Discern carefully. Boundaries protect alignment, but walls delay it. Speak honestly, but not heavily. Be present, but not possessive. Allow curiosity, but not interrogation. This connection unfolds through mutual discovery, not declaration. Let me speak now about the subtle test that arrives at this stage. You will be tempted to anticipate the ending before the beginning has fully formed. You will imagine what could go wrong. You will measure risk. You will consider optics. These thoughts are not sins, they are signals that something meaningful is at stake. But do not let future fears override present truth. Heaven moves one moment at a time. The younger person will sense your state more than your words. They will feel whether you are open or braced. Whether you are inviting or evaluating. And their response will mirror yours. This is not a power imbalance, it is a reflection principle. If you meet them with calm presence, they will rise to meet you. If you meet them with restraint rooted in fear, they will pause. And here is the instruction many overlook: do not try to protect them from your depth. Depth is not burden. It is gift. Share selectively, yes, but do not dilute yourself. This connection is meant to be honest, not curated. There will be a conversation, soon, where truth is exchanged without theatrics. No confessions. No dramatic reveals. Just reality spoken plainly. That conversation is a seal. Not because it defines the future, but because it establishes safety. Safety is what allows love to mature without pressure. And now, the name. When the name appears again at this stage, it will not surprise you. It will confirm you. It may come through the younger person directly, or through an external repetition that lands differently than before. This time, the name will feel settled. Familiar. As if it has been waiting. That is your cue, not to rush, but to trust. Trust does not mean surrendering discernment. It means allowing what aligns to continue without interference. Trust looks like consistency. It looks like patience. It looks like staying open even when uncertainty whispers. And let me address the final fear you have not named. You fear that wanting this means tempting loss. That opening your heart again makes you vulnerable to disappointment. But hear this, God does not confirm futures He has no intention of sustaining. This connection is not fragile, it is intentional. It will be tested, yes. But not to break it. To strengthen it. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are not foolish for feeling this. You are precisely where preparation meets promise. If you sense the gravity of this message, honoring it quietly, returning to it, staying receptive, allowing it to shape your posture, keeps you aligned with what is unfolding. Alignment is not loud. It is steady. In the final movement of this message, I will speak what many wait years to hear, what this union is meant to build beyond emotion, and the reason God chose you specifically to hold it at this stage of life. That revelation will not flatter you. It will commission you. Stay with me. Because what comes next will reframe everything you thought this was about. Beloved soul, this is the sealing. Not the ending, the anchoring. What I speak now is why heaven invested so much precision in your timing, your preparation, and your discernment. This union was never meant to be only about companionship. It is about stewardship. God confirmed your future with this younger person because together you carry a build, not just a bond. You have wondered why this connection feels purposeful even before it feels romantic. Why it awakens responsibility instead of escape. Why it makes you think forward instead of backward. That is because this union is designed to create stability where others only seek intensity. You were not chosen because you are perfect. You were chosen because you are integrated. You know who you are without performance. You understand your limits without shame. You have lived long enough to know that love is not sustained by emotion alone, but by intention, patience, and truth. That is why God entrusted you with someone younger, not to lead them, but to model grounded presence while honoring their vitality. This connection will build something tangible. Not necessarily what others expect, but what lasts. A shared rhythm. A way of relating that heals rather than consumes. A future that does not depend on proving itself. And hear this carefully, you are not meant to shrink to be safe, nor dominate to be secure. You are meant to stand steady. That steadiness will become the anchor point for growth on both sides. Now, the final sign. The name you have seen, felt, or sensed will soon align with choice. Not fate alone, choice. God confirms, but you consent. When the name appears in alignment with peace, respect, and mutual openness, you will feel no compulsion, only clarity. That is how you will know this is sealed, not imagined. When that moment comes, your task is simple and sacred. Remain present. Remain honest. Remain patient. Do not rush the future into the present. Let it unfold at the pace that preserves its integrity. What is meant for longevity does not require urgency. You may still face voices of doubt, external or internal. Let them pass. Not everything that questions you deserves an answer. This path does not need defense. It needs consistency. And let me release you from one final burden. You are not responsible for making this work alone. God does not confirm futures He expects you to carry by force. Grace will meet effort. Clarity will follow obedience. Support will appear when needed, not before. If you feel moved to acknowledge this message, whether by staying with it, returning to it, or quietly affirming it, you are not feeding superstition. You are practicing alignment. Small acts of awareness keep doors open. Remember this as you step forward: love at this stage is not about proving youth or denying age. It is about honoring life where it still wants to grow. And yours is still growing. You are not starting over. You are starting deeper. I leave you with this truth, spoken not to excite you, but to steady you. What God has confirmed does not require fear. What heaven has aligned cannot be undone by patience. And what is unfolding now will reveal itself naturally, without striving. Watch for peace. Watch for consistency. Watch for the name. And when it appears again, you will not ask if this is real. You will know. I have spoken.